This is H.P. Lovecraft's Tales of Terror, printed by Arcturus Publishing in 2016. Arcturus Publishers is one of my favorite publishers of cheap, affordable books that are still nice quality, and this one actually comes in a slipcase, which is quite nice. As you can see on the front, we have H.P. Lovecraft Tales of Terror, and it has a different material than the actual slipcase itself. It's this kind of rubbery material that catches your finger as you go over the letters, so it's quite nice. We have this little design with all of these eldritch horrors, and we do have the author, a little portrait of him. There's the spine of the book from inside the slipcase, so let's take out the book and look a bit more at the slipcase. So the spine looks like that. So you can actually shelf this book spine inwards if you want, because we have the title, well, the author, the title, and the publisher right here. And this slipcase is a little worn down because I've had this book for quite a long time. The edges are just black, not that you're looking at them anyways. And the back looks like this, with a little blurb about the book. And unfortunately, this barcode, which I'm not a fan of at all. And we do have the original price, which was $25. The inside of the slipcase is just standard white paper. It's about what you'd expect for a $25 slipcase book. And we have these little notches that allow you to pull the book out, which is quite nice. So moving on to the book itself. We have this red book cloth. If I flip over to the back, which is blank, you'll see that more clearly. And it's your standard cheap book cloth. But for a $25 book with a slipcase, I don't really expect anything more, and it will still last quite a while. It's very smooth book cloth. There's barely any texture to it, but you can still feel as you rub your hand over it that it is book cloth. The front cover has these black eldritch horror tentacles, which looks pretty nice, and they're in this glossy rubbery material. And if I shine the light over it, you'll see that it's much glossier than the book cloth itself. The author's name is in this lovely silver foil, which has a bit of shine, and the title of the book is cut out of that black rubbery material, so it's red with the book cloth. The spine has the author's name in that exact same silver stamped on there, the title of the book in that black rubbery material, and the publisher's logo stamped on there with that black material, and a little bit of extra design. The page edges are all trimmed, and this book is actually sewn quite nicely, which you can see right behind the headband. And it does use a black headband. The end papers are nothing special. They're just white cardstock. Nothing special about them. And the paper for the book itself is pretty nice hardcover book paper. What I love most about this book, and all of Arcturus Publishing's books, other than their small pocket-sized books, is that all of them lay flat perfectly. So you can see that the front cover lays flat. The end papers and the fly leaves lay flat, and you can actually see kind of where it was sewn. You can see all sort of puncture holes in the paper, and every single page that I flip from here on will lay perfectly flat. So there's the title page. We flip it over and it lays very nice and flat. We have some publishing information with a little illustration right there. This book was printed in China in 2016. And there's some other information there as well. We have the table of contents with a nice little design. Here are the tales from H.P. Lovecraft that are included. And you can actually see the sewing in the binding right here, which is very cool. This book was sewn extremely well. And it does have a lot of these pen illustrations throughout the entire book. And I absolutely love how every single page lays perfectly flat. So you could read this book or leave it open however long you want, and it's going to be just fine the entire time. We have a nice illustration at the beginning of the tales. The formatting of each page is pretty nice. The text looks nice, and it's a nice black. And I like the little designs at the top here, and we have the page numbers at the bottom. There's nothing too special about the contents, but this is a very utilitarian, readable interior that still looks a bit nice. Here's another one of those illustrations. And you can see that anywhere I flip in this book, the pages are going to lay perfectly flat every single time, except for the parts that I haven't read. You can see if I look at the eye of the book that the signatures definitely stand out from each other, and they're very nicely sewn. And at the end, it still lays very nice and flat. I'm actually somewhat surprised that it lays slightly better at the ends of the book than it does in the middle. And of course, at the back, there is nothing else special. The book simply ends right here. But that's all for this book. And for the price, and for a collection of H.P. Lovecraft's tales, this is a very nice book. I would definitely recommend Arcturus books to anybody looking for high quality books that are very readable and very affordable. This is a 10 out of 10 publisher, and really the only negative thing I have to say about this book is the little label on the back of the slipcase, but that's mostly a non-problem. So that's all for this book, and thank you very much.